Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a month since my last upload, but you know, I had a baby and all, so that's gonna be my excuse. For today's video though, I'm gonna be doing my birth story. My baby is a month and like 3 days old now, so it's been a month postpartum. I mind my hair also. I just showered, so it's a little, he's back there swinging. So I want to like tell y'all about like the epidural, my induction experience. I have like a whole thing of notes because when it comes to making videos I suck, so I wrote everything down. My tears, the pushing part, the part that everybody tells you is the easiest, the postpartum healing, all that good stuff. Basically my due date was December 22nd and I had a choice of getting induced on December 15th, and I really wanted to get induced because I didn't want a Christmas baby. Like I didn't want to combine his birthday and Christmas together, so I was really considering getting induced on the 15th, but some people were telling me it was okay to do it, others were telling me do not do it, please do not do it. So I was really iffy on if I wanted to get induced or not. But then I went to my 38-week appointment on December 8th. I thought it was just a normal appointment. They took my blood pressure. My blood pressure was too high. I ended up having preeclampsia. On my 38-week appointment, he did the membrane sweep. He's very gassy today, I believe. So let me go take care of him real quick and I'll be right back. He's in the video with me now. So anyways, he did a membrane sweep at my 38-week appointment, and I just started like gushing out blood, and I started freaking out because I was like, this isn't normal. Why does it look like I'm like on a heavy period right now? But he told me that was fine, blah blah blah. Then they sent me off to labor and delivery. Hi. They sent me off to labor and delivery because of my blood pressure, just to like do tests. So they hooked me up to all the machines and the monitors and all that to like keep watch of me. The nurse ended up coming back, like I was in there for like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. The nurse ended up coming back and she was like, so your doctor wants to get you induced. Did you want to go home, grab it yourself? And I like looked at her, I was like,
today? Right now?
She was like, yeah, he wants to induce you as soon as possible just because of the whole preeclampsia thing. I ended up going home, called my boyfriend, he was at work, he came home, and we started prepping to get induced. I got induced on the 8th when I was supposed to get induced on the 15th, and my actual due date was on the 22nd, so everything was like extremely early. So we got back to the hospital, they ended up hooking me up, did the IV. I took a COVID test because, you know, during the COVID we both had to have masks on, and it was like a really quick test, so it wasn't the one that went all the way up your nose, it just went a little bit, so it wasn't too painful. Came back negative for COVID, so I was allowed to take my mask off. My boyfriend had to keep his mask on because they didn't test him, they just tested me. We checked in at like 4 o'clock p.m. on December 8th. Yeah, what, you looking at the lights? Yeah. So yeah, we checked in on December 8th, got all hooked up, they brought us food, blah blah blah. The contractions started like kicking in like a couple hours later, and then my doctor was about to get off, I think at like 6 p.m. that day. So he came in to talk to me real quick. He was like, we got you induced, we're gonna kick in the medicine in a little bit. By like 6 a.m. your contractions should start kicking in really hard, and then by the evening of December 9th you should be ready to push. Then he told me have a good night, and he went home off the clock. And also my doctor was so amazing, like so amazing. Fast forward a little bit, contractions started kicking in at like midnight, I want to say. Yeah, I want to say midnight. My contractions started getting really bad, like contraction pains are not a joke, guys. It felt like I was getting stabbed literally in my uterus, like somebody just continuously kept doing that like every couple minutes, because as soon as it was done and I felt so much relief, another one kicked in. So that was going on for a minute, and at some point I just called the nurse and I was like, look, I can't do this anymore, I can't even lay down. Like I was on my feet like rocking back and forth the whole time because it hurt so bad. So I told her I need the epidural right now. So I think it was like 3 or 4 a.m. that I got the epidural, and they put the catheter in my bladder. At the epidural point, I believe I was like 3 or 4 centimeters dilated. Once that epidural went in, I felt, she gave me these drugs to like knock me out. It made me like, she said, you're gonna feel like you're drunk and then you're gonna fall asleep. I don't remember what they gave me, but whatever they gave me, I loved it so much. Like, they gave it to me and all of a sudden I was like, and I just went to sleep. So for that hour of me sleeping, it felt amazing. Did I say I got the epidural like 3 a.m.? I don't remember. Now let me tell y'all, that epidural, I went into this pregnancy not knowing if I wanted epidural because I was really scared to go numb, but you don't even go that numb to where you like don't feel like you have legs. It wasn't that bad of a feeling, and I 110% recommend you to get an epidural if you're about to give birth. It was the best experience. It didn't hurt at all, and for the first time since I started contracting, I could finally lay down inside the bed. Because before that, like I said, I was just up, rocking back and forth, grunting, crying. Oh, it was terrible. But that epidural definitely helped. I slept for like an hour. I remember I woke up at one point and I was like laying in like blood. Like, it was everywhere. It felt like I peed myself, but I didn't pee myself because I had my catheter in. But I was literally covered in blood. So I called the nurse. I was like, hey, can you please help me clean up? She said they were about to see how far along I was dilated. She was about to help me clean up my blood. And then I don't even think she like stuck her finger in there to see how far along I was. She just looked and she was like, you're ready to push. This was at like 6 a.m. I don't remember the times exactly, but I think I got the epidural at like 4 a.m. Finally took my nap, and then an hour later I was ready to push. Now mind you, my doctor told me that by 6 a.m. is when my contractions are going to start kicking in, but by 6 a.m. I was ready to push, and I felt like the top of the area down there, and it felt like extremely swollen, like it was like bloated out. So I knew he was down there. Said they were gonna go call my doctor because mind you, he was at home. We weren't expected to push until the next evening when he'd be back on his shift. But they started calling my doctor. You okay? And for the time being, they said there was gonna be another delivery doctor that was gonna help me. So I think they were trying to stall for my real doctor to come because it was forever. Like, I was telling them like, yo, I feel him coming. Like, it literally feels like I'm holding him in at this point. Like, I feel the pressure down there. I feel everything. I literally like felt his head trying to come out, and I was like squeezing it back in. Like, it felt like I had to poop very, very, very badly. Like, I've been constipated for like a week and I had to use the bathroom and I was just holding it in. That's how it felt. Eventually, when I told them like, look, I feel like I'm holding in this baby at this point, all the nurses came in, that doctor came in. She started like massaging this oil down there to prevent me from ripping. We'll get into that part. The nurses were in there. Then they were like, you have to start pushing. His head is like right there. Like, we see his hair. Look at all his hair. 6 a.m. I'm pushing. Like an hour and a half after the epidural. I went from 3 or 4 centimeters dilated all the way to, what is it, 9 or 10, something like that. I did all that in an hour and was ready to push. Now 6 a.m. is when I told them I was ready to push. Everybody was stalling till like 6:30. I believe it's because they were waiting for my doctor to come. So they were all in there. They were telling me to push. Now guys, everybody has always said the easiest part is the pushing, right? I swear to y'all, that was my hardest part. Maybe it's because I just hate not being able to breathe, but the fact that I couldn't breathe while pushing was stressing me out. Like, we'll get to that. So I started pushing. The doctor was like, okay, they count to like 10 for each push, and she was telling me to do it 2 times in a row, like push and then push again without like taking a break. I couldn't do it because, you know, you're breathing, you're like, you know, putting everything into that push. Y'all, I started like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do 2. I can't breathe. Am I supposed to feel like this? I need water. My boyfriend was passing me the water. I was like, I can't breathe. My vision's going in. I can't hear. Am I supposed to feel like this? Everybody was like, no, you're okay. Just keep pushing. The head is literally right there. You got it. Y'all, I was giving up. I said, I'm burning up in here. I can't feel anything. I ripped off my whole hospital gown. Like, I was naked, butt naked from head to toe. Like, my boobs were hanging out. My boyfriend said at that point, some nurse was like, well, here's a rag for modesty, and she put it over my boobs. But like, fuck modesty, I was dying, basically. So I was over here pushing. I told him I couldn't do it. Then my doctor finally walks in. He was like, oh, you're ready to you're having your baby already? I was like, yeah, I'm having my baby already. So now he's down there. The lady doctor leaves and my real doctor is there. He's telling me the same thing. Come on, you gotta push, you gotta push. Him being there didn't make a difference. I'm like, I can't do it. Like, I can't do it. I give up. I can't do it. So I pushed like maybe once or twice with him, and then I'm gonna assume he like pulled him out of me because I was being a little crybaby. Because like 2 pushes into him being there, the baby was out. Like, I didn't even know. I pushed for like 20-30 minutes, something like that. Like, it wasn't long at all that I pushed. I just know that I was done. I was giving up. But he pulled him out. Then, you know, they give him to me. Then I look at my doctor and all I see is blood covering his hands. There's gauze pads. They keep passing him things. There's blood everywhere. Turns out I had a postpartum hemorrhage. Hope I said that right. But I'm holding my baby while I'm looking at them, tired, out of breath, hot. There's blood everywhere. Needles, clamps, everything you could think of a hospital has, he had it. Then he starts stitching me up. All I'm seeing is blood, and then I have him on my chest. I don't know what to pay attention to. And FYI, everybody says when you hold your baby, you forget all the pain. They're lying. You don't forget all the pain. To this day, I remember all the pain. Like, don't get me wrong, it was worth it because, like, my precious. But y'all, you're not gonna forget the pain. So it turns out I had 2 really long and deep tears.
She started like massaging this oil down there to prevent me from ripping.
And again, I'm assuming that happened because he pulled him out of me. He knew I was being a crybaby. Like, I literally gave up in the middle of pushing. I was like, I can't do it. He's gonna have to stay in there because I'm not doing it anymore. So I think because he pulled him out like that, I might have tore, but I'm not really mad about it. It didn't take that long to heal. I was extremely sore after birth. I remember that I had like diapers. I had like this squirt bottle with warm water. I had this spray for itching and burning. I could barely walk around. Like, everything hurts so bad. And I don't know if that's how normal labor feels, like the pain afterwards, or it's because I tore so bad. But yeah, the walking and the moving around afterwards was like excruciating, like terrible, 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 terrible. But it didn't take that long to get over it. Like, once I got home and everything, it was like maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, and everything was fine down there. So anyways, back to the hospital story. So that happened. Then the next day, he was with me in the recovery room. We had him like cleaned, circumcised, all that. The state came in, took all his information, got his birth certificate made, all that. I finally put him down to sleep. And of course he starts moving as soon as I walk away from him. But nurses just kept coming in, like pressing my uterus, making sure everything was all right down there, because you can like bleed internally and stuff like that. So they just kept pressing on it, making sure everything was healing all right. Everybody was checking in on me, checking the baby's temperature. I had the lactation nurse kept coming in there and helping me because like I could not get him to latch on. They gave me like one of those nipple guards because my nipple was flat. It wasn't like coming out for him, and then he wouldn't like latch on, and I was really, really sad about it. And I just kept calling the nurse like every 10 minutes, like, can you please help me latch him on? So I just want to say, if you have a baby and they don't latch on at first, don't worry about it. Like, don't beat yourself up about it, because now he knows exactly what to latch onto and how to latch onto it. So that first like couple hours, that first day, it might be a little hard for both of y'all, but I promise you it's gonna get better, so don't beat yourself up about it. They did like his hearing test, his vision test, all that. And for the hearing test, they scared me at first because like they brought him back and they were like, newborn babies, sometimes we have to do it more than once because, you know, they stop the liquids in their ears. So they told us to like massage like his ears while we're feeding him to like get everything out of there. They redid his hearing test and everything came back good. So at that point, all his tests came back good. We got cleared to go home. And that's when they did the whole car seat check. About getting induced, I really wouldn't like have done it any other way. People say like if you get induced, there's a higher chance that you'll like bleed out. But I didn't have a postpartum hemorrhage because like I was bleeding out. I only had it I got it because I tore so bad, so that's why I was bleeding so bad. So honestly, I didn't have a bad experience with getting induced. I'm sorry that I keep twisting. I'm like trying to rock him because I'm talking so loud and he's trying to sleep, so I'm just like moving around. I would do it again. It wasn't a bad experience at all. The one thing I wanted was for him to come before Christmas, and that, you know, that's what happened. But yeah, the induction didn't hurt. They didn't have to break my water, and I heard that was bad. Honestly, thinking about it, I don't know what happened to my water, because they never told me they were going in there to break my water, and I know they do with like a little hook, so that never happened. They never said anything about my water, so I'm not sure. But I know after I gave birth, when I went in my car, there's like a stain on my driver's side seat that I don't know where it came from. So I don't know if my water broke at some point in my car or what, but yeah, nobody ever said anything about my water, so who knows. The induction experience was honestly like good. Like if you want to get induced, go for it. A lot of people are going to be two-sided about it. A lot of people are going to say don't do it, a lot of people are going to say do it. Like at the end of the day, it's up to you, but the induction experience was fine, like and I enjoyed it because like I had everything planned. Even though it happened 3 weeks early, the fact that I got to go home and I like packed everything up, we ate before we went there, everything was not in a rush. My boyfriend's mom came over to take the dogs, like everything was just ready, instead of like, oh my god, my water broke, oh my god, my contractions are starting, we need to run to the hospital now. So getting induced, for me, 10 out of 10. My biggest thing going into it, I didn't want to poop on the table. Like the whole time I was pregnant, that's all I was thinking about. I did not want to poop on this table. So I just remember when I was pushing, I was like trying to keep my butt hole closed. So I'm not sure if that's also why I ripped, because like I was pushing wrong, because I was so focused on like not pooping rather than getting the baby out. So I don't know if I pooped on the table. My boyfriend doesn't know. You know, of course the doctors and nurses don't tell you, so I don't know. I don't think I did, but I don't know. Yeah, that was basically like our whole hospital stay. Even though I had some crazy moments, it wasn't that bad at all. And I remember the first day out, I was like, I'm never doing this again, I will never have a kid again. But now that I'm a month into it, like, don't get me wrong, I still remember everything. So when people tell you that you're gonna forget all the pain, you're gonna forget everything, you're just gonna have your beautiful little blessing in front of you, like, yes, you're gonna have your beautiful little blessing in front of you, but you will never forget the pain. I still remember everything. It's been a month and I remember everything, but I would do it over again. I just hope that I don't tear it next time. I think now that I know like what to expect, I'll just have a better experience the second time. The first time around, I was just, my whole pregnancy, I was like terrified to give birth. So I think that went into effect with everything. I was just so scared. I was so scared to take him home, guys. I thought I was gonna break him. Like, he was so tiny, so fragile. He was only 6 pounds. Like, he was so tiny. I was so scared. Like, how do y'all trust me taking this baby home? But yeah, everything went good. And then like with all my ripping and my swelling and my pain and everything was done in like a week and a half, 2 weeks max. Like even my preeclampsia, all that went away. Now I'm just back to being stick and bones. Like, I was hoping I would keep some of my weight from my pregnancy, because like I wanted to gain a little bit of weight. No, my hips did get wider though, I can tell y'all that much, because when I put pants on, I struggle so much to like get them over my hips. But other than that, everything went back to normal. That's pretty much it for my labor story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I made it seem crazy, but it wasn't too crazy. I was just a crybaby and a drama queen. Besides the contractions hurt. That is the one thing, the contractions. But everything past that, like even when I was getting stitched up, like I didn't feel anything because of the epidural. I was just being a crybaby about the pushing part because I couldn't breathe. And I feel like that's my big fear, of not being able to breathe. So I just thought I was dying. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.